I am Kathleen, and I'm here with our special guest, Chris VanMeter from the Rivals of Ixalan pre-release, and Chris is here to build a sealed deck with us. So
I am. Pretty excited.
Let's crack some packs.
Let's crack some packs. They thankfully seeded this for me. Started by scoring the plastic because I would just not be able to open it otherwise. Let's bust some packs.
All right, what's your promo rare here?
So our promo is Admiral's Order.
What
I don't know if
does
this will
that
even
do?
show up.
Yeah, there
So
it goes.
it's, yeah, 1 blue raid. If you attacked with a creature this turn, you may play 1 blue rather than its mana cost. Counter target spell. So it's
Interesting.
cancel, but potentially only 1 mana. So let's open that up now.
So if you're attacking with like, if you're attacking and they're like, well, combat trick you, you can be like, no, for 1 blue mana.
Yeah, you can do that. Or what you can also do is cast something in your second main and use this to like counter their counter spell if they happen to have one.
Or if like, yeah, or if they're cast, but like it's still cancel for like, you know, you try to remove something main phase.
It's cancel for all intents and purposes. So let's start off with our Rivals of Ixalan packs. Because who doesn't want to see more new cards?
That's basically everyone, I think.
just go right to the back. So we got a foil with Jungle Pioneer, and this is actually a very good card. That might not pick it up because it's foil.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, 2 and a green for a 2/2. Enters the battlefield. You get a 1/1 blue Merfolk creature token with hexproof. Just a good value card.
So it's a 3. It's 3/3 power for 3,
and
right?
our rare
Oh.
is Nezahal Primal Tide. So we may end up playing that one. Let's see if you have anything else that excites me. Got a Bombard. That's a good one.
Removal, always strong and sealed.
And a Luminous Bonds, more removal. And our Azokan Seer.
Oh, fixing.
Just fixing. It's a good card. And our this is a dinosaur, so we can even get this back if we need to, if they happen to kill it.
Wow.
So right off the bat, we don't have a whole lot of black. But we do have a flip card. Journey to Eternity. This is a good one. So it's 3 mana, enchant creature you control. When enchanted creature dies, return it to the battlefield under your control, then return this to the battlefield transformed. And it's Adzal Cave of Eternity, which is a very good card.
So it's tap, add a mana of any one color to your mana pool. That seems fine. That seems very good. But more importantly, 3 black, green tap, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. And of course, you can do this at instant speed.
Yes.
Dang.
Very, very good. And this happens to give you 1 mana of any color. So if we need to splash our enchantment, we possibly can. We also have a Merfolk Mistbinder, a good black uncommon, a good green uncommon, but nothing too super exciting, although this rare is very exciting. I have been wanting to try out a black-green Explore type of deck in this limited format, and this is the card that you want to be able to try and play that. All right, well, this rare is kind of cool. So we have Mastermind's Acquisition. It's Diabolic Tutor, but you can also get a card you own from outside the game. So you can just go get something from your sideboard.
Ooh.
So search your deck or your sideboard. Traveler's Amulet is something I do want to highlight. Is that card is pretty important in sealed to be able to splash cards like Journey to Eternity, along with Evolving Wilds that tend to go hand in hand.
Oh, that's some good
when
fixing
you have
there.
them in packs.
That's like the fixing that you want.
Yeah, we even have another green-black card.
Oh.
Uncommon. 3 mana, 3/3, and you just pay 5 to return it from your graveyard to your hand, which is very good in the Explore deck because you can explore, put this in your graveyard, and then just get it back later.
Wow.
Direfleet Neckbreaker makes me want to play Pirates, but it doesn't look like we have a lot of aggressive Pirates, and not even very many black cards as of yet, with 3 packs still to go. So the Neckbreaker might not be good, but Silvergirl Adept is always going to be safe. So far, we have a lot of good green cards and some nice enchantments and the Seer. So I could see us end up being just like green X, depending on what else we happen to open.
Interesting.
So we've got another Direfleet Neckbreaker, but this time it is foil, which is nice. Double of those is good.
That if you are in the pirate deck, though. Attacking pirates you control get +2/+0.
Yes.
That's very nice.
But this is a very good card. So
Ooh,
Wayward
green.
Swordtooth. So 2 and a green, ascend, and it can't attack or block unless you have the City's Blessing, but lets you play an extra land each turn.
That gets you to the City's Blessing very quickly.
That it does.
And it's a 5/5 for 3. So eventually. It's very powerful.
Well, so far, just from these packs, we ended Impale.
Oh.
Here's another Bombard. So far, just from these packs, green is looking very, very good. And I would be surprised if we don't end up green X. Maybe we get some New Horizons or other 5-color type cards out of these packs. And we could end up playing a 3, 4, or 5-color deck.
Oh, how exciting.
Yes.
I'm not particularly good at building sealed decks, so I'm going to be asking lots of questions about how to build a 5-color deck if that's where you go.
Well, our first Ixalan rare is Captivating Crew, which isn't terribly exciting, but it is just a playable card, and it's very good if you're in the pirate archetype. Fortunately, it does sit on the same mana cost as Direfleet Neckbreaker, which you don't really want to be playing a whole bunch of 4s.
No, I feel like a pirate deck wants to play like 2 drops and 3 drops and a few 4 drops.
Yes. Well, we do have this,
Wild Growth Walker,
which goes perfect in the Explore deck that I mentioned earlier. And in the same pack, we have the Lurking Chupacabra, which also goes well in the Explore deck. So we could end up on Green-Black Explore or just Green X Explore here. And our last pack, Gold Sanguine Sacrament, which I don't think we're going to end up playing. But it is a very cute card. Nothing else super exciting so far. Wily Goblin. Air Elemental is usually pretty good.
And sometimes you just need a 4/4 flyer.
Yeah. So this pool is going to be interesting to build with because the only color that like really makes me want to play it right off the bat is green. But it doesn't look like we have like a lot of dinosaur synergies. So the first thing that I'm going to do is just go through each color and kind of separate it by cards that I think are playable and cards that are not playable.
Right.
Just to see where we're at.
So is that your playable pile that you're sorting out here?
Yeah, so I'm sorting out the playable pile here. So there aren't a whole lot of white playable cards. So looking, Luminous Bonds, Divine Verdict, and Pious Interdiction
All right, well, I mean, that's removal.
are all playable removal, and they all only have 1 white in their mana cost. So there's a very good chance if we end up in a color and splashing, that those are cards that we can splash. The rest of the white isn't super playable, so I'm not too excited for that. Let's take a look at our red. CC red. I actually think that C red is playable.
Here, let me just put that on the card reader. Just because that's a new card, so we're less familiar with it. Enchanted creature gets +2/+1 on first strike. At the beginning of your end step, if you didn't attack with a creature this turn, sacrifice C red. I mean, that's perfect in a red-black deck that wants to be attacking anyhow.
Yes, or even just a red anything deck. So you can put it on just a normal common dinosaur is very good. Even something like this, where at some point, if you ascend, it gets double strike and is bigger. And so our red, there's a lot of playable red cards here. So before I go on to the next colors, I just kind of want to lay them out just to get an idea of what our curve looks like with our playable red cards. Because we do have 2 Bombards, which is very, very good.
I'm going to move all your sort of, maybe we're not considering it, cards off to the side so people can get a better idea of what you're building here. Oh, 2 Bombards does make the red quite good, doesn't it?
Yes, but the first thing that jumps out is we have no 3s and they're like a billion 4s. So this isn't the
curve that you want?
The curve that you want with the red deck. And I could see potentially playing red along with another color that is like filling us in here and leaning on the red 4s. Because some of these we can cut, but these are just the playable cards.
Right.
But having 2 bombardments is very good. And they're also just single color mana costs. So if we do happen to be like 4 or 5 color green, we could just play the bombardments.
Right. Interesting.
So we will set those aside for now, and then these are just the cards that I don't think are playable.
All right, I'll move those way over here so we don't have to talk about them again.
For our blue, we also have a lot of playable blue cards.
Interesting. And red-blue is a viable archetype in this set. Yeah, I don't think
It is.
you've got any red-blue multicolors or anything to sort of reward you for it, but
Yeah, and while we do have, like, basically every blue card that we opened is playable. We have a lot of creatures, and are glutted kind of at the top end. And while we have a few merfolk, we don't have like a lot of merfolk synergy type cards.
right.
But if we look here, things like Spirewinder and Sailor of Means are all cards that, in Prosperous Pirates, they only have a single color in their mana cost. So that's something that I have to keep in mind as we're looking through these cards, since we do have a decent amount of fixing with a base of green and could potentially want to splash
Well, and
creatures if we need to.
Prosperous Pirates gives you treasure, right?
It does. So it helps.
Helps
so
you
does Sailor
ascend
of Means.
and also casts things for you.
So let's set this aside and take a look at our black. I'm saving green for last because
Because you're pretty sure you're going to be in it anyhow.
pretty sure we're going to be in it. Plus, like, by volume, it's just like by far the color that we have the most cards of. So in terms of black, I don't know if this card is playable or not. It might be. Double black is tough. I don't know if I would play it, although just being able to go get like our enchantment, our creature enchantment, seems pretty good.
Yeah. I've never been quite able to get a handle on how good Diabolic, like the tutor effects are in like limited sealed.
Yeah, so our black, we don't have a lot of cards. We have a lot of playable cards. And something like Impale is just like premium removal. If we do end up in an Explore archetype, the Lurking Chupacabra is very, very good. Although the only black Explorer that we have is Queen's Agent. And we'll have to see how much Explorer we happen to have in our green
Right.
before we end up making a decision. But this doesn't look like the worst for sure.
Yeah, none of the... Oh, and Direfleet Hoarder gives you treasure, so if you are going to start splashing for some of the other removal, that's helpful to have that early.
It does give you treasure. And our green,
I'm big on treasures, you may have noticed.
treasure is good. I really like this card. This is a good value card. In fact, I want to bring it back over and over again with my Journey to Eternity.
Oh, that seems very good. That's six power for 5 mana.
It is.
Oh, and you have a Hunt the Weak, which is very good in this deck, too.
Yeah, Hunt the Weak is good. And we also have this. So Thrashing Brontodon is one of the new cards. And it's actually really nice because you could play this on turn 3. On turn 4, you can cast Journey, enchanting it. And then you can pay 1 and sacrifice it to target the Journey, which will trigger the Journey with this still on the stack. Bring back the Brontodon and flip the Journey, and then the ability will resolve, but since it doesn't have a target, it doesn't like actually resolve. So these two cards by themselves can flip the enchantment.
Wow, that's very sneaky.
Very sneaky.
I had not thought of that.
So if we lay out our Brontodon and the rest of the green,
I mean, Brontodon, you can also sack it to if you
just
have
hit
the
something
enchantment
else.
on.
Or
Just,
like if your opponent had the enchantment, you could just kill the enchantment.
yeah, or get a Luminous Bonds off a creature or something like that. Because there's a lot of white-based enchantment removal in this set.
Yes.
Or enchantment-based white removal.
Right, so the bad news is that we don't have any Explore green creatures.
No!
Let's take a look at our artifacts. So we do have Traveler's Amulet and Gleaming Barrier if we would need to play it. Okay, so I don't know how much we're looking at like a full-on multicolor deck. But our green base seems pretty good. We have a lot of 2s, and we don't have very many 4s, whereas with the green deck, or with the red cards, we had a lot of 4s. So we have some potential with just playing green-red. I don't think we want to play Wild Growth Walker because we don't have much Explore.
You just don't have the payoff for it.
Yeah. And like we have some Knight of the Stampede, but like these dinos only cost 3, 5, and 6. We don't have a whole lot of dinos.
Right.
Another potential is we do have the Merfolk Mistbinder. So if we have a bunch of Merfolk that we wanted to play, because these 3 2-drops are Merfolk.
Oh.
This 3-drop is a Merfolk and gives us a Merfolk. Spirewinder, strange enough, is a snake. We do have 2 Water Trap Weavers and a Silvergill Adept, but we don't have much removal. So here's where it gets tricky trying to figure out how best to build our deck. Now we have 3 additional pieces of white removal, and if we end up being green, white, red, then we have a Stone Quarry, an Evolving Wilds, a Traveler's Amulet, and the Azokan Seer that we can use that all help us fix. So let's see what we could potentially make that look like. So here we have 2 Bombard. Here's some more 2-drops. We actually have a Brazen Buccaneers Explorer, so we have some red Explorer, but that's about it. Freebooter is good. It's just a 4-mana 3/3 that gives us a treasure, so helps us cast our splash cards. And Sea Red actually feels really good in this deck with a whole bunch of 2-drops that we can put it on. I like Needletooth Raptor.
Oh, that's very good. When it has Enrage, it deals
5 damage.
That's very good.
And it's a dinosaur, so it'll help us with our Tillanali's Knight. So how many cards is this? So this is 20 cards by itself. And we have the 3 white removal cards that we could potentially play.
They're all splashable.
That are all splashable. We also have this Journey that might even be splashable.
Do you think it's worth it splashing for the Journey?
Well, that's what we have to try and figure out, right? Because we have this Freebooter gives us a treasure. Evolving Wilds and Traveler's Amulet can give us can get us the swamp. Seer can also give us black mana if we splash white for the other cards.
Yeah, but now you're getting 2 levels of splash to get to that thing, right? It's like we have to hit our white splash to cast our thing that will tap for black.
The other question is, like, do we even need or want to splash white? So at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So at 20 cards here, we could just find more playables.
And then just keep your deck a little bit more consistent.
Yeah, so something like Blinding Fog might be playable. We also have these other red creatures. Could I see the red cards up there?
Yeah.
So something like this, actually. Stampeding Horncrest. I think it's playable. It helps fill in our curve. We have 1, 2, 3 dinosaurs that could potentially give this guy 4 dinosaurs that could give that one haste, which doesn't seem bad at all. So that puts us now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 21.
And then if you run the Traveler's Amulet, then you're at 22.
Well, I don't think that we actually need to play the Traveler's Amulet if we're
Interesting.
just 2 colors.
Right.
I think
Because you have an Evolving Wilds.
Yeah, I think I would rather just play the Evolving Wilds. And what's really nice is that this type of stuff gives us access to siding into a white splash if we would need to against somebody that these are all removal spells that don't deal damage. So let's say I played against your sealed deck from yesterday, or from the pre-release. I would not want to be trying to bombard or hunt the weak the tyrant, the Trapjaw Tyrant.
Right.
I would much rather want to use Luminous Bonds or Divine Verdict or Pious Interdiction. So that does give us those options. And we do have some other creatures that we could even play. I think that Oraska Raptors is good. Gives us another dinosaur for Stampeding Horncrest, another creature that's good for See Red and Hunt the Weak. 22. And then maybe even just something like Wily Goblin. So having double red isn't something that we're going to have on time every time, but it can give us help to ramp into something like Colossal Dreadmaw. Man, if we're playing Wily Goblin and Brazen Freebooter and the Evolving Wilds, I think that this enchantment might actually be worth splashing. Just because it's so good.
Well, and realistically, it's like if you have, like the thing is you need the black to activate the enchantment, but if you have the Evolving Wilds to go get your one black.
Oh, that's true.
Right?
Yeah, that's true. The treasures don't.
The treasures won't help you activate it over and over again.
Good point. We'll pass on the Journey to Eternity for now.
So very powerful, but not perhaps the most playable?
Yeah.
And you're not willing to dilute your deck by like, I'll run a Traveler's Amulet and this and that to try and get to the point where you can use it.
Yeah, trying to rely on treasures for it, I think, is a big trap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 23. So I think that this is the 23 with 17 lands that I would play. And 17 creatures is a lot, and I like having just a bunch of dorks that you can play and attack your opponent with. And we do have some bombs. So like Captivating Crew is definitely a bomb. There's a lot of times where, let's say I'll play a 2-drop, they'll play a creature, I'll attack, they'll try and trade, and I can crash the ramparts or bombard their creature away, and then I'll play this as my 4-drop. Anything my opponent plays, I can just take and deal a whole lot of damage. So this card is very, very good when you're trying to be aggressive, which is something that this deck wants to do. It feels like it's going to be able to do with this many 2-drops, along with an enchantment and some 3-drop removal.
Excellent.
So I think that I would say this deck is a little bit worse than the black-red deck that I had in the pre-release because I just had a bunch of mythics and that deck was pretty overpowered. But this is a deck that I would be happy to open and play with, and I feel like it was a roundabout way of getting to it, but this is a solid deck.
Nice. And you can always like sideboard into like white removal if you need to, because you do have quite a bit of fixing.
Exactly, yeah. Like we have Pious Interdiction, Divine Verdict, Luminous Bonds, the Seer, Stone Quarry, Traveler's Amulet, and Evolving Wilds that all help us cast those white cards, and we can change our deck up if we need to. But this is, I think, would be the most consistent against unknown opponents.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. That was Chris VanMeter building his sealed pool here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Keep checking out our YouTube channel for other bonus content from the Rivals of Ixalan pre-release. Thanks, everybody. See you later.